Hi, it's Deanna, and today I get to show you something pretty cool. So this is a possibly 1920s, I'm not sure of the exact date, but 1920s, 1930s Knickerbocker bear. And the Knickerbocker Toy Company was stationed out of New York, and it started in the 1850s by a Swedish immigrant family who started making educational wooden blocks for children. And during the teddy bear craze, and when I say teddy bear craze, it started in about 1903 because Teddy Roosevelt, the then U.S. president at the time, was an avid animal and big game hunter. And he was with a bunch of officials on a bear hunting trip, and everybody was catching bears except for him. And so they were shooting bears and finding, their hunts successful, except for Teddy Roosevelt. So somebody tied up a bear cub to a tree. Well, it wasn't a bear cub, it was an emaciated older bear that was just really tired and weak, and they were able to catch him. And they tied him up with a rope, I believe, to a tree, and they told him, "Here, shoot the bear." And Teddy Roosevelt said no. And the reason why he said no was because he felt that it was unsportsmanship like to shoot that teddy bear. Well, when I say teddy bear, I mean it's Teddy's bear, because Teddy ended up making the teddy bear what it is today. And so it went viral, and it went in all the newspapers about how Teddy saved the bear. And Teddy refused to shoot it, drawing a line. And at the time, he was having a dispute over the state of Mississippi's border. And as a joke, they wrote Teddy Roosevelt drawing the line in Mississippi. And they had a picture of the bear cub tied up. And what they did was they made it look like a cute little, tiny little baby teddy, like a little bear. And so in the cartoon, it made it look like he was a hero, which, I mean, he did the right thing. He didn't shoot the bear. And so then all of a sudden, a whole bunch of toy manufacturers popped up, and they started making bears, like out of plush. And then they asked one of them, which was the Ideal Toy Manufacturing Company in New York, asked Teddy Roosevelt if they can actually call it a teddy bear. And he said, "Sure, go ahead. You can use my name, but I don't expect it to sell very much and be a success for you." And it turned out to be a success. And now everybody knows what a teddy bear is, because in the newspapers they called that bear that he saved Teddy's bear. And then that's where the phrase teddy bear comes from. So this is a Knickerbocker bear, most likely made in the 1920s. But when I say the 1920s, I mean the late 1920s, close to the 1930s. And the first ones that they made had tin noses. And then the second issue had these little noses made out of thread. And he has glass eyes. And he has cinnamon colored mohair. He has like little silken felt paw pads. And he has spoon-shaped arms, as you can see here. And I scored him on eBay. And it was a great buy for me. It was only like, I think, $60 or $70. And the seller said that it was a reproduction bear, because it had a second prize winning ribbon. And she thought this was a reproduction like artist bear. And so it won second place in an exhibit in Orange, California in 1988. And the name of the exhibit was called Teddy Bear for President. And it was the International Teddy Bear Collectors Club. And on the back, it has like a little notation. The person who had this bear named it Dear Heart. And the name of the person exhibiting it was Judith Johnson. And she said his name was Dear Heart. But I like to call him Deuce. And the reason why I call him Deuce is because Deuce is another word for the number 2. And he's brown. And I have a sick sense of humor. And he came in second place. So Deuce over here is really cool. He has gigantic ears. He almost has a mouse-like face in a way. If you look at him, he's very mousy looking. And he has swivel joints. His arms pose in different configurations. His head swivels. I'm unable to really do it now because I'm filming with my other hand. And he's adorable, as you can see. So let me turn him around. He has minimal mohair loss, which is exceptional for such an old bear. Sorry for the bad lighting. I'm doing this indoors at nighttime where there's very little light in my house. And you can see he has very little mohair loss. This is really an exceptionally cared for bear. Someone really cared for this bear a long time ago. And he has little glass eyes. One of the eyes has a little crack in it going down the center, but it's really no big deal. It doesn't bother me too much because the rest of the bear is in very, very good shape, as you can see here. And he has like a shaved muzzle, amber colored little eyes, and those spoon-shaped paws, which I love so much. He has a little hump, so he's like a little humpback bear. And he's just absolutely adorable. Look at this little guy. So I was like, when I saw it in the listing on eBay and she said that it was an artist bear, I blew up all the pictures on my computer. I zoomed in and I really looked at this bear and I said, no way. I said, this is an old bear. I could tell by the way it was constructed and made, and this definitely isn't a replica of an antique. It's the real deal. It's an old bear. Even though it's really not antique because it was made in the 20s, 30s, it's still an antique to me. I consider that antique. And he's adorable. So I was glad I got to share him with you. And once again, if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.